Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Racing Podblast with me, Tony Mack, and Ben Aiken from Narrow in the Field. And after last week's 36-1 forecast at Cheltenham and a 33-1 winner on the flat at Doncaster, we're sticking with the handicaps this week, heading to the Saturday action at Ascot to cover 3 races, 2 over the fences and 1 over the hurdles, before taking our usual coach trip up to Scotland for our football trixie battle, top, middle and bottom. Welcome along, Ben. A good week last week. We've got to mention last week, mate, and also why we are going to Ascot rather than Wetherby.
Yeah, lovely week last week. 1-2 in the per temps handicap hurdle qualifier at the Wall Park in Gower Road. You're actually quite good in these per time qualifiers because you had a couple on the pod last year, I remember, from them.
Yeah, I can't get the actual winner of the race though, Ben.
That's all right. You can pick up the winners prior to that. But yeah, 1-2 there, Wall Park in Gower Road, and then Laffey at Doncaster, 33-1, 60 on Betfair. And a couple of emails from people, the messages saying they backed Laffey at 60s on Betfair, so lovely stuff. Good week for us.
Yeah, it was.
Happy.
Yeah, good stuff,
and
mate.
This week, yeah, we're off to Ascot because the cards are crap at Wetherby.
Terrible.
7-8 runners in most races,
Must
which
be
is
said. Yeah,
it's all right, but we just prefer bigger field sort of handicaps to dig into.
Yeah.
Just,
have you got a fancy for the Charlie Hall?
I have not even looked at it.
All right. I see now that I've already laid Brave Man's Game. I don't think he can win. He's coming back from his 3rd wind operation as well, apparently. He's now drifted out from evens last night to 13-8 this morning with Ladbrokes and Corals, 6-4 place there, 11-8 still with the others. But Grey Dawning for me. I think Grey Dawning runs all over Brave Man's Game tomorrow in that. That's my selection for the Charlie Hall that we are ignoring, by the way. Definite late on Brave Man's Game as well. I just can't see that. I couldn't understand why that was even money favourite last night, but he's drifting as expected. All right, racing first, and off to Ascot we go. The Byrne Group Handicap Chase, first of our 3 races under analysis this week. Ben, can you start us off with that one?
Yeah, 10 runners going to post for the Byrne Group. Not the biggest of fields, but I actually found it a little tricky to pin down a solid short list. A lot of the runners I felt had a few niggly sort of negatives against them. I did finally settle on a short list of Son Seagal, Martador and Uncle Phil. Son Seagal finished 3rd in this last year off 137. He's £2 lower on 135 this year. There's been plenty of runs to date to suggest he should be up to winning from or around this 135 mark. When running in this last year, he was making seasonal debut and was also running off a wind-up. He next ran over course and distance at the Ascot meeting at the end of November. Fell at the last one length up. This year, he's already been seen on the track. He finished 4th of 10 at Chepstow over 2 mile 3 a couple of weeks ago. That was too far for him and was again a first run back off a wind up. So I suspect they just wanted him to blow the cobwebs away there, get him sharpened up for something else, most likely this race. In November to January are Son Seagal's prime months. He is 4 wins and 4 places from 9 starts in those months. The only time he didn't at least place came in that race where he fell at the last minute in the lead. So plenty to like about the chances of Son Seagal here. Martador, he posted some impressive efforts last season on his first season over fences. He rounded out his campaign with 3 relatively impressive handicap victories in March and April, including one over this same course and distance. Nothing in that last win at Sandown to suggest he wouldn't still have more to offer this season. So his mark of 134 is likely still below the ceiling of his abilities. His trainer, Venetia Williams, she has some solid stats in Ascot handicap chases in the October and November period, especially with her seasonal debutantes in races of 12 or less runners. With those types, Venetia Williams is 9 winners and 3 placed from 25 qualifiers, 36% win strike rate and over 66 points profit, so positives for Martador. And Uncle Phil, he's the other on my shortlist. He's not the easiest horse to fully assess, but it's nothing if not interesting that Willie Mullins and Townend come to Ascot with just the one horse. Uncle Phil should most likely be suited by this decent ground at Ascot if you look at him on good to soft or quicker and on his second, third and fourth run of the season. He's 4 wins and a second from 5 starts, conditions he gets here. And he's just one of those Willie Mullins riders that makes you think, what's going on here? No, what's the reason for this one coming over on his own? It's relatively ignored by the market as well at 12-1 or bigger. So, yeah, a bit of a interesting one, Uncle Phil. He's a potential fly in the ointment, but I prefer Son Seagal and Martador. I suspect both will have been primed for this. Venetia Williams has won this 4 times and had 9 others place, so she'll have Martador ready to fire. And Jane Williams has just tweaked the approach of Son Seagal from last year, and he should show plenty more than what he did at Chepstow last time out. So Martador and Son Seagal for me. Tony, what you got?
I'm straight in here with a Dutch on Master Chewy and Martador. Master Chewy is around 72, fell in the Arkle at Cheltenham Festival before being beaten ahead at Aintree when last seen in April. Master Chewy can go well here. And Martador for trainer Venetia Williams, as you've already alluded to. Ben, he's around 4-1. 7-year-old has won his last 3 starts, including over course and distance in March in a £21,000 handicap chase, beating 4 rivals by 3 1/4 lengths off a £12 lower mark. I'll be straight in there with a Dutch on Master Chewy and Martador. And Matterhorn, if you're interested, Matterhorn, I might be having a small each way on him. 3 victories over the summer. Bizarre summer jumping campaign from Paul Nicholls for Matterhorn. 3 victories over the summer with Nico de Bonville in the saddle as well on a couple of occasions as he rides on Saturday as well for trainer Paul Nicholls. Something clearly missed last time after a shuddering mistake at the 3rd at Newton Abbot in August. Easily forgivable that run and that mistake, and looks a little large, around 14-1 for me there, Matterhorn each way in our first race, the 2:05. On to the 3:15 Lavazza Handicap Hurdle Class 2 over 1 mile, 7.5 furlongs, 2 miles. 3:15, what's your thoughts on that one, Ben?
Yeah, at least a decent renewal, I thought, of this Class 2. A fair few unexposed handicappers set the line up. I narrowed the field down to Break My Soul, Fire Flyer, Fiercely Proud and Tin Tin Tin. Break My Soul makes her handicap debut and seasonal debut here. She banged in 2 very eye-catching wins on her final 2 starters last season, winning very easily at Chepstow and then following up at Fontwell. Her mark of 1-2-2 looks more than workable, I think. Her trainer, Nicky Henderson, also has some solid Ascot stats to back up her chances. In Class 1, Class 2 and Class 3, Ascot handicaps November, with horses aged 5 or 6 and that had 0 or 1 runs in the current season. Nicky Henderson is 13 winners and 4 placed from 29 qualifiers. 45% win strike rate, 59% win and play strike rate. Break My Soul meets those stats. So Break My Soul very much on my radar here. Fire Flyer, he's won a 2 in the race for Paul Nicholls. Disappointed in the last twice he was seen. First of all in the National Hunt Novice Final at Sandown in March, and then in the valuable Novice Handicap at Sandown on Bet365 Gold Cup Day. He had shown plenty of promise prior to that, though, and I wonder if those poor efforts at Sandown were due to the time of year. His best form to date has come in the October to February period, where he has 3 wins and 2 seconds from 6 starts. Fire Flyer also comes here off a wind-up. Paul Nicholls got some decent stats with similar types. He's around a 34% win strike rate, 54% win and place strike rate, and over 92 points profit with similar types to Fire Flyer off a wind-up. So there's reasons to believe we'll see a better Fire Flyer here than we did on his last 2 starts. Fiercely Proud, he's been relatively highly tried at times so far in his career. He posted a couple of strong efforts in graded novice hurdles last season. Never landed a blow on handicap debut at Sandown on his final start of campaign, but I think the large 20-runner field was against him that day. He was kind of out of position from the off. He'll be happier in this smaller field as he is 4 wins, a second and a third in fields of 14 or less. His handicap mark of 129 looks within range for him, so I get the chances of Fiercely Proud. And Tin Tin Tin, he's the last on my shortlist. He had a pipe opener at Wetherby a couple of weeks ago, finished 5th or 6th that day at 5-2 second favourite, but he'll almost certainly have needed that run. If you ignore his racecourse debut, he is 0 from 5 1 place of breaks of 42 days or more, compared to 3 wins from 5 2 places of breaks of less than 42 days. So I think Tin 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 will be sharper for that Wetherby spin. I think it should show plenty more here. And I'm happy to play 2 from that 4-strong shortlist, and that 2 are Break My Soul for Nicky Henderson and Tin 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 for Fergal O'Brien. Both look overpriced to me in this. Break My Soul and Tin Tin Tin. Tony, what you got for this handicap hurdle?
Yeah, good one, Ben. Interesting analysis there. I'm going in again with Dutchin. I'm straight in again. Fiercely Proud for trainer Ben Paulin, who's around 9-2 at the minute. Distance winner, won in both November and December last year, so goes well around this time of year. Likes good ground as well as being 3 from 3. With between 12 and 15 runners in a race as well. 3 from 5 on a right-hand track, so Ascot should suit. Fiercely Proud there. And, oh dear, Secret Scribble.
Who's that?
Oh dear, I don't know, I have no idea. It's number 8. Good ground winner has the assistant of the newly freelance David Bass in the saddle. Curious decision to leave Kim Bailey there, but beaten favourite at Sandown on the final day of the jump season in April, 5th of 20, well behind Helen Wayne. Won on seasonal debut at Kempton last summer, did the old Secret Scribble. Blimey, it came out right that time. And so that's around 5-1. Fiercely Proud for trainer Ben Paul at around 9-2. I'll be Dutching those 2. And our champ each way as well, a small each way, Likes good ground. Won in September last year after a 183-day break before beating 17 rivals at Cheltenham's October meeting around 12 months ago, winning by 7.5 lengths. Trainer won this 2 years ago with Highway 102 as well, Chris Gordon. So our champ looks a bit big for a small each way at 20-1. On to the big race of the day at Ascot Sodexo Gold Cup Handicap Chase, Class 2 over 3 mile. We've had a nightmare with this, haven't we, Ben?
A tricky one to
it certainly is.
Very tricky. I eventually landed on the following shortlist. A high-stakes player, Chianti Classico, Am I Right, and 2 for Gold. High-stakes player was 2 wins from 3 last season. Only time he disappointed came over 2 mile 4 on heavy at Newbury. He doesn't want heavy. He needs further in 2 mile 4 and probably prefers going right-handed. So that effort is easily excused. And that Newbury run is also his only defeat over fences to date in 5 starts. So he should still have more to offer this season. In handicaps on softer, quicker ground, he's 6 wins and 2 places from 8 starts. In that form line on right-handed tracks only, he is 5 from 5. Over trips of 2 mile 5 and further, he's 5 wins and a second from 6 starts. And he goes well off long breaks with 3 wins from 4 off breaks of 50 days or more, improving to 3 from 3 if you only concentrate on fences. So plenty in high stakes players' favour here. Chianti Classico, he's another unexposed type. He's only had the 5 previous J starts. He holds a very strong form line on his first and second start in a season, with 5 wins and a close second to his name from 6 starts. Away from graded level, he is 7 wins and 2 seconds from 9 starts, and I think this looks a good spot to start off Chianti Classico's second season chasing. There should still be more to be squeezed from his mark of 152, and his trainer Kim Bailey won this race with a similar type in 2019 in the shape of Vindication. And I'd expect Chianti Classico to be ready to fire here. Am I right? He's sole Irish rider in the field. He disappointed in the Kerry National last time out, but soft ground on a left-handed track isn't his cup of tea, so I'm happy to forgive that effort. He'll be happier under the conditions he faces here, as he holds solid form on right-handed tracks on good to softer quicker, and when running off breaks of 30 days or more, he has 2 wins and 2 places from 4 starts under those conditions. And the old boy of the field, 2 for Goal, he's also worth a mention. He finished second in this off a £3 higher mark last season and holds overall chase form at Ascot of 4 seconds and a win from 5 starts. 4 of those runs, including the win, came over this 3-mile trip. So 2 for Gold could run himself into a place at tasty odds. And from that short list, the 2 I'm going to play are Am I Right and High Stakes Player, both horses who look to have conditions in their favour here. Am I Right and High Stakes Player. Tony, Sodexo Gold Cup, what you got?
Yeah, I think the favourite will take some beating here, to be honest with you, Ben. Chianti Classico, and you've given a good sort of big shout for him there as well, for trainer Kim Bailey and Tom Bellamy. The 2 I've come down for, I've got a short list of miles from Wicklow for each way purposes. High Stakes Player, which you've also given a good shout to, Neon Moon and Hidden Depths. I'll be playing Neon Moon and Hidden Depths tomorrow. Neon Moon, who won on seasonal debut, won the Native River Handicap Chase. Neon Moon winning the Native River Handicap Chase in the colours of Native River. Who saw that coming? 8-1 as well he was that day. Watched in horror. Hang on, there's a horse running in the Native River Handicap Chase in the same ownership, Brocade Racing of Native River, Neon Moon, winning by 1.5 lengths that day, just about 3 weeks ago. And also Hidden Depths. Neil Mulholland is in good form at the minute, and he's got Sam Twiston Davis on this one tomorrow. Hidden Depths, who was last seen beating miles from Wicklow in October at Market Racing on good ground, beating 5 rivals 1.5 lengths there. So each way, it's a race I gave up on, to be honest with you. But Neon Moon and Hidden Depths for me. Neon Moon around 9-1, Hidden Depths around 12-1. It really is a sticky old race, that one. And lots at the bottom as well. That you've got Our Power in there, you've got Solo in there, you've got 2 for Gold, you've got Fledmatic, you've got Kitty's Light. Blimey. That is really a conundrum tomorrow. 3:45 is Sodexo Gold Cup. Good luck if you play that. Right now, time for top, middle and bottom.
Thing about loving football is you cannot explain why you love it. It just happens. Chasing a ball round a park, wanting one team to win against the other.
El Mahoney, right foot, whips it. Oh, Jeezy peeps, man.
Top, middle and bottom. It's time for round 13. Top, middle and bottom. How do we get on last week, Ben?
Just the one winner for me last week, a last-minute equaliser from Elgin City against Clyde, stopping me from pulling in some profit. Jeezy peeps, man. 2 winners for you, though. A small loss of minus 1.1. I think we both needed Queen of the South to beat Annan, which they didn't. So current totals are me plus 7.49, Tony minus 31.87, and my top, middle and bottom this week is top Livingston and Queen's Park to draw at 5-2. I think these 2 look certain to be fighting out for the playoff places come end of season, if not the title itself, and I can see this being a tight affair. Not played each other all that much recently, but if you look at their last 12 meetings, 9 of them have either been a draw or settled by 1 goal either way, so hopefully another tight match between Livingston and Queen's Park ending in a draw. Middle, Alloa to beat Annan at 19-20. Annan had a good win, boo, last week at home against Queen of the South, but they're a team I'm always happy to take on away from home. And they've conceded the most goals of any team on the road. Alloa can take advantage of that and get back to winning ways here. So Alloa in the middle and bottom. Clyde to beat Bonnyrigg Rose in 19-20. And Clyde were actually a little unlucky not to get the win at Elgin last weekend. Hopefully they can take care of a very in-and-out Bonnyrigg Rose. Clyde have done okay at home this season. They've only lost one of their 5. They've only conceded 4 times. They'll have too much for Bonnyrigg Rose here. So my top, middle and bottom is top Livingston and Queen's Park to draw, middle Alloa, bottom Clyde. Tony, what you got?
Here we go. My top is Falkirk at home to Greenock Morton. Middle Cove Rangers away at Dumbarton, and at the bottom Elgin City at home to Stirling. That is Falkirk at home to Greenock Morton 2-5. Cove Rangers away at Dumbarton 21-10. Elgin City at home to Stirling 4-6. Treble on the way there from me. Lots of study gone into that one. Many thanks for listening to the latest edition of the Racing Podblast. Very best luck with your bets at Ascot this weekend, and also laying Braveman's game in the Charlie Hall. You can catch more from Ben over on narrowinthefield.co.uk. Big thanks for listening once again this week. We've got some good numbers coming in of late. Have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, Tony.
We'll see you next week.